all are doing great. So today I'm going to tell you all about Eric Liddell. So Eric Liddell was born in 1902. He was born to Scottish parents who were doing missionary in China, especially the rural China. Because he was born in a family in which the missionary was inherited, so he was always into God. He always believed God and was passionate for God. He read Bible and prayed. So he always had God in first place, right kids? He had to move away from his parents because he had to continue his education. So along with his siblings, he had to move away from his parents to different place. When he went to different place, he joined the school, and in school he was doing his studies and along with the sports. When he was doing sports, he kind of understood that he had a lot of ability in running and rugby. And he also played many other sports including that. He understood that he had a lot of capability to play sports. So did the teachers, and everybody realized his talent in sports. And then he started participating in a lot of competitions, a lot of running competitions and many other sports competitions. When he participated in those games, he always won. He always won in national competitions. He also participated in international competitions. But his parents didn't knew about all this sports life of his, because whenever he wrote a letter for his parents, in those days they had to write letter to communicate. So when he wrote a letter to his parents, he always wrote about important things and more important things than the sports life of his. So he wrote about how he joined the Bible community, how he became the head of the Bible community, how he's preaching to everyone about God and what miracles God is doing in his life, right kids? And how he overcame a lot of things because of God's love and God's support, right? So he wrote about a lot of things like this. And so he always put God in first place. Every time he put God in first place, right kids? And as every sportsman dreamed to become a participant in Olympics or win Olympics, he also had the dream and he got a chance to participate in Olympics, right kids? So he gave his name for 100 meters and 200 meters. That is, he was selected for 100 meters and 200 meters in Olympics, right? So when he was selected, he started preparing for it, right kids? We have to prepare, right, to participate in a race. So he was preparing for the competition. He was preparing very hard, years and years, day and night. He was preparing for his competition. And when the Olympic schedule came, he realized that on Sunday he had 100 meters competition. On Sunday, which is a very precious day for him, he had competition on that day, right? So all these years that he was preparing for came on Sunday. That competition came on Sunday. But in an instance, he declined it because on Sunday, he told his manager, on Sunday, I will glorify God. I will do nothing other than glorifying God. God is important to me. It is a precious Sabbath day and I am going to glorify God on Sunday. I'm not going to do anything else other than glorifying God on Sunday. Right kids? It's a very precious Sabbath day. I'm not going to miss church on Sunday. I'm not going to miss preaching people on Sunday. Right? I'm not going to miss giving my time to God on Sunday just because of this competition. So he put God in first place. Can you imagine preparing almost his whole life for this competition, and then it comes on Sunday and he's declined for God? How great it is, how much passionate he was for Christ, and he honored God, right kids? So he declined the offer. He declined the offer to participate in 100 meters race, and somebody else won the race, right kids? After 2 days of his competition, his manager asked if he could participate in 400 meters competition. He never practiced for it, nor he exactly knows the tricks how to win the race, right kids? He knows nothing about 400 meters race, right kids? And that is Olympics. Like, can you imagine all the people there would have practiced for years and years for this 400 meters race, and he just now decided that he's gonna participate. Can you imagine how much stressful it would have been? And it is almost impossible to win the match without practicing, that too at Olympics, right kids? But he gave his name, okay, I will participate in 400 meters competition, right? So he said, okay. And then he was standing at the starting line of the race. He was standing, and a woman came and gave him a paper. Something was written in paper, but in the competition, he was starting the race, right? So he, without looking at the paper, he kept the paper in his pocket, right, kids? He put the paper in his pocket. And then he started running for 400 meters competition. And guess what? He won the competition. It's a very tough competition because he never even practiced for it, but he still won the competition. And when the reporters came and asked him, he told him, it's not me who won, I think it's God who helped me to win, right, kids? And then when he looked at the paper, he took the paper out of his pocket and looked at it. You know what's written on it? He who glorifies God will be glorified. He who honors God will be honored. According to 1 Samuel 2:30, right? So the verse was written on the paper. And then he understood that it was God's plan for him. You know, many people won 400 meters race, 100 meters race. There are many winners in the past years, right? But his story is being told by the world, all over the world, because he honored God, and now he is honored all over the world. He is respected. Even after he won Olympics, he continued his life in missionary, especially in China, in rural China. He continued missionary. That means he preached about God and what real God is all about and what Jesus has done for us, right? He preached about all these things to all the people there, right? So a lot of reporters then, after his life, asked him, you know, you are an Olympic champion and now you are preaching people about God. Don't you regret doing all this? Then he told, I will never regret something I'm doing for God. God has done so much for me. God has put me in a place where everybody recognizes me. And nothing I do is equal to what I do, what God has done to me, right? Nothing is equal to what God has done to us, right, kids? Can we do anything in return, favor? We can only give our heart, right? Nothing else we can do to God, right? So what you have to understand in the story, that how he honored God, right? How he put God in first place. Even on the Olympics day, like his life dream, right? Even on that day, it is like a test that God has given to him, right? On that day, he rejected his competition, his race, and put God in first place and went to church and preached about God, right, kids? So we should also honor God, and also every Sunday you should glorify and honor God. That means every Sunday you should go to church. It's a very precious Sabbath day. It's not a resting day. You can't just sit at home on Sunday, right, kids? You shouldn't do that. You have to go to church and praise and worship and honor God.